The profitability index technique. This is an alternative to the net present value technique. It's actually very similar to how the net present value technique works. The profitability index is also known as the benefit cost ratio, and it shows the value created per $1 invested. So when you invest $1 today, do you get more than $1 back in the future, exactly $1 back, or less than $1 back? Let's look at exactly the same numerical problem that we used to calculate the net present value. So again, you're thinking about opening a coffee shop. It will cost you $650,000 today to buy coffee machines and all other equipment. You estimate that your coffee sales will generate $90,000 in 1 year, $120,000 in 2 years, $170,000 in 3 and in 4 years. You will then sell all used equipment for an estimated $250,000 and start a different project. So in 4 years, the whole project will end. And that's when we essentially have two cash inflows. The last profit from coffee sales, $170,000, and the sales proceeds from selling all used equipment, $250,000. The proper discount rate is 8%. What is the profitability index? Is the project worth it? What we need to do is, again, calculate how many dollars do we get for each dollar invested, right? So that's kind of the idea behind the profitability index. So let's break it into two parts. How many dollars do we get? And then how many dollars are invested? And then we're gonna compare them. So the dollars we get from the project is, everything in the future. We need to combine it all. And just like with the net present value approach, we are doing the same exact thing. We are discounting one by one each future cash inflow, and then we are adding up the 4 individual present values. So $90,000 divided by 1.08, where 1.08 is simply 1 plus the discount rate, 8%, plus 120,000 divided by 1.08 squared, plus 170,000 divided by 1.08 cubed, plus 420,000 divided by 1.08 to the 4th power. And the sum of the 4 discounted future cash flows is $629,878, just like in the net present value approach. Next, dollars invested into the project. This number is given. Actually, let me show you that number first, $650,000. So now, how should we do it in the financial calculator? We are going to be doing it a little bit differently from what we did to use the net present value technique. This time, we are not going to include the negative $650,000 for the cash flow today. The cash flow today will be left as 0. So we are only using the future cash flows in our cash flow keys. And then we discount them at 8% and compute the NPV. So that's how we get $629,878. To find the profitability index, instead of subtracting $650,000 initial investment, we are going to divide by it. So $629,878 divided by $650,000 gives 0.97. How should 0.97 be interpreted? It means for every dollar invested today, we get back 97 cents, right? 97 cents per dollar invested. Is it good or bad? It's bad, right? We want more than $1 to come back to us for every dollar we spend today. And because that's not the case, the project should be rejected. So to summarize, we first calculate the present value of all future cash flows, and then we divide their net present value by the initial investment. And for the initial investment, we ignore the negative sign. So we kind of use, the absolute value of it. So everything is, positive numbers, and we get a profitability index that's always something that's positive. Notice how the conclusion we got in this problem is exactly the same as the conclusion when we used the net present value approach. There it was also a rejection of the project, and this is always going to be the case. So in fact, whenever the profitability index is above 1, it means we get more than $1 back per dollar invested. And that's when the project is accepted, right? Whenever that's the case, the net present value is a positive number. And a project should be rejected when your calculated profitability index is below 1, actually between 0 and 1. And that's when for every dollar you invest, you get less than $1 back. So maybe nothing back, maybe 1 cent back, right? So it's always between 0 and 1 for the rejection interval. And in this case, the net present value, if that's what you calculate instead, is always going to be a negative number. To summarize, to find the profitability index, you first calculate the present value of all expected future cash flows, and then you divide that by the initial investment. You ignore the negative sign for the initial investment. So the number you get is always going to be positive. It's always 0 or above. If it's between 0 and 1, the project is rejected. If it's above 1, it should be accepted. What about if it's exactly 1? Then it corresponds to the NPV equal to 0, and that means that we are indifferent between accepting and rejecting the project.